Hi guys, so I have a question. You know that, it's one thing for an atheist or someone who is unsaved or other that just does not believe the Bible and say it's not real. Okay, got it. But what do you do when Christians and people who may even be in leadership positions and say that they're followers of Jesus or Christians or whatever, that they're trying to tell you that certain parts of the Bible is not true and it's irrelevant? To be more specific, that hell, that part is not going to happen. And no, what kind of God will put people in hell and different things of that nature? Jesus came and he died on the cross, and so he has made it possible that we no longer need to bring turtle doves and bullock and rams and things of that nature and do all the things that the priests had to do for the people for their sins. We can now come boldly to the throne of grace by Jesus Christ, who's our mediator, by talking to God, and he intercedes for us to the Father. But I'm going to tell you this: God is unchanging. You see it several times in the Old Testament where God says, I do not change. He has made things a little bit easier for us to be able to approach him, through the sacrifice made by Jesus Christ. He died and he rose from the dead. And so it changes that. But God still requires of us to live holy lives, to be perfect as he is perfect. And now when we say perfect, we know no one is perfect, but it means you aim to do the things that pleases God to the best of your human abilities, and you're trusting God through his supernatural abilities to take you the rest of the way. That's what I mean. But we're finding that the Bible is just being completely misconstrued. It's subject to interpretation of our emotions and what we want it to mean at any given time. But the biggest part to me is, if you as a believer, you're a Christian, and you're telling people that this part of the Bible is not true, that part of the Bible is irrelevant, but this part is the truth, then why should they believe any part of the Bible? If this is the lie, then how do I know, and how do they know, that what it is that you're saying is truth is not also a lie? Because that means there are discrepancies in a book that you believe in. There are discrepancies in this thing that you're telling me that I need to believe in, right? Now, let's get it straight. I believe in the Word of God, not only because I don't just look at the Bible, but I've actually experienced the very presence and power of Jesus Christ in my life. So that's where I'm here doing my thing. But what I'm saying is, how do you expect believers, or unbelievers, to truly want to be a part of God and want to be in this where there's so much discrepancies? Oh, this part is true, but we read up to this part of the Bible, but this other part is not significant. This other part means nothing because that's no longer happening. The stories of the Bible and all the things and the wonders in the Old Testament is so good. You guys, I encourage you to read it page by page, because it still gives you, there's so much meat and potatoes in the Word of God. How could you not go back to see how God moved, and even his awesome power, and even his intolerance back then, to truly appreciate where you are now? Not only that, just reading it and just seeing how over and over again, what is reiterated over is obedience. Obedience, follow my commandment, selflessness, loving me with all your heart and your soul and your mind. That is repeated over and over again. It's about obeying God. It's about obedience. It's about faith. It's about letting God fight your battles. You can't miss out on that type of stuff and think, okay, I only need a New Testament now. New Testament is delicious as well, but it all ties in. But then when you're telling people, oh, it's not true, and hell is here. No, the Bible completely describes hell. Okay, unless we're going into a volcano, and a volcano still does not describe hell as that. You understand? So all I'm telling you guys is, when you have believers that saying this part is not true, and certain things are quite obvious, but that you switch it around to fit what you want it to say, to fit your situation, it's because, number one, you yourself do not believe in Jesus Christ. You don't believe his word. And if you don't believe an aspect of Christ, you don't believe a portion of God, you don't believe in any of him. I'm telling you right now, you can't do it. It's not going to work. It's all or none with Christ. So you can't expect the unbelievers to follow you, and you can't expect for you to follow you. Because if you're saying this part of the word of God is a lie and this is not, and this part of the word is over exaggerated and this part is not really going to happen, then it's also possible that whatever it is you believe is also a lie. Yo, think about that. All right, guys. Don't forget to like, to share, and to subscribe to my channel. Shelve this. Think about it. We serve an awesome God. He is awesome. And we can't even condense Christ in those covers of from Genesis to Revelation. That's just a smidgen of who he is. But I tell you what, I believe all of it. All of it. I believe it all. Okay? There's no chewing the meat and spitting out the bones with the word of God. It's all relevant. All right, guys. I'm out. Bye.